Well, we have one more speaker before we break in with lunch. And this time I'd like to invite Mr. Rajat Sabarwal on stage. Well, Rajat currently leads the IT Solutions Group Market Strategy for India at Samsung's SDS. Rajat has more than 15 years of experience in business strategy consulting, business development, market development, M&A, and leading business units. He has expertise in enterprise portfolio strategy consulting for leading telecom providers in Europe and Asia Pacific. Previous to Samsung, Rajat was heading digital transformation portfolio for Tech Mahindra in Western Europe and was based in the Netherlands. Rajat has a business degree from the London School of Economics and an MCA from BITS Ranchi. So let's welcome him.
Just a check, yeah. First of all, thank you for the opportunity here, and I hope you had a good night yesterday. I certainly did. We're going to be talking about video analytics at Samsung, but before I start with the presentation, can I have the video, please? Well, while the gentleman plays the video for me. From myth to reality, it's a really nice tagline, and we tried to, okay, here it goes. So what you saw there was a clip from a movie, Terminator 2, that was released somewhere in the 90s, the early part of the 90s. It was a myth back then what analytics can do for you. You have to appreciate the fact that the sci-fi authors and the movie producers, they were really ahead of the game. Before we could think about these concepts, they were already putting them in the movies. So a big inspiration for all of us is the sci-fi community. What we saw there was analytics being applied, object recognition, face recognition, and of course, size recognition. The naked man was trying to find a perfect size for himself, so he can get the clothes on. What we are doing at Samsung is far from this. We are far ahead now in the game. As far as basic analytics are concerned, they came in the 2000s. Now what we're talking about is the next generation of transformation in video surveillance, how to make intelligent surveillance networks, how to give the eyes a brain. That is, how to make cameras give you the feed and brains being analytics, trying to make it intelligent on the post-hoc and the pre-hoc side. So basically, as I say, precaution is better than cure. We are trying to focus on making video surveillance intelligent so that you can preempt certain decisions, you can take certain precautions, you can get alarms in real time, which can help not only in the detection of crime or events, but also help you reduce them. Now, why do we need analytics is a question that a lot of people ask. And the reality to today's world is that we are all limited by our own capabilities. Humans are having limited capability. You can put 1,000 cameras in a city, in a premises, and yet not been able to detect what you should have detected before it happened. we are trying to take the human out of the picture. What we say is that we need to put enough intelligence in the surveillance side. Yeah, thank you. We need to put enough intelligence in the surveillance side so that the person who is monitoring the control unit becomes redundant. Why we say that is, again, I'll show you a clip here, if you can please. Just
This
do a
is
little bit of a
unit
test here.
test. How many passes does the team in white make?
So, any guesses? How many passes?
13.
Good. So you've seen this video clip before.
No, I didn't know. I had better.
It's 13.
All right, wonderful. Now
But
let's see.
did you see the moonwalking bear?
Did you see the guy dance fast in the middle? Yeah? So the reality is what we see, what we want to see. So, for example, if there has been, a terrorist strike in a city or a major accident somewhere, your control unit set of people, they're just, they've got this background in their head. And they're just trying to watch out for a similar event happening again and again. And that's so true that, if you look at the control center unit people, they're just like any other normal you and me kind of a guy who has emotions, who has a bit of I would say limited intelligence. We only use 2% of the brain, and it's a fact. What if we are able to bring about processing, which is fast, real-time and effective, to the surveillance side, and then try to make a scenario wherein the human error is to the minimum. We cannot do away with humans, we all know that, but what we can do is minimize the errors that occur because of our limited capability to process. So, we've talked about this today, to a large extent as to why are we looking to have analytics in the first place. 98% of the footage that you really record on the storage is unseen. So basically, you're creating a lot of dump, which has no intelligence to it. Then, if I look at the processing time, or rather the attention span of people who are trying to monitor the video feed, then as the number of screen increases, your attention span goes down. So if you're monitoring around 9 screens, your effectiveness has already reduced to 53%. Your detection rate versus monitoring time, it goes tremendously down, the amount of time that you spend in the control unit. So, what do we do about this problem that we have? How do we improve the detection? How do we improve the accuracy? How do we actually take the human out of the equation? So what we did was we started off with bread and butter analytics back in the 2000s. Face recognition, license plate recognition, the recognition part of the analytics. I mean, we all know what that was. But we thought that, this is just detection. We're just trying to put 2 and 2 together. What is the value add really which is coming out here? And that is when we realized that we are limiting ourselves again by our imagination. Why don't we create a system that self-learns, that has the ability to create events in real time the way you would want? For example, a person, you want to define a hit and run case. How do you detect a hit and run case? You have to break it down. We said car, it stops abruptly. A person falls in front of the car. The car runs away in a different direction. this is, for lack of a better word, this is the process of a hit and run. Now, if you were to detect this hit and run, you would have to think step by step and put analytics to recognize these 3 events happening simultaneously, or one after the other in succession. And that's what we did. We created a very powerful, complex event processing engine, which lets you take the limit out of the equation. You can create your own events by clubbing together multiple events happening in a particular order, and you can then define use cases which are pertinent to your industry. Let it be surveillance, let it be premises security, or for even that matter of fact, we are using analytics quite a lot in our retail practices now, and I'll show you how. I talked about this. We are basically trying to create an analytics, or rather we have created, sorry, a platform that sits on top of the whole ecosystem that you see here, right from the camera feed to the VMS. Our engine sits on top to create intelligence. And that we do for 4 different verticals right now. One is, of course, for the surveillance, for large city surveillance projects, for large premises security projects. If you ever come down to Korea, and we've heard the song Gangnam Style quite a lot. Gangnam is actually a district in Seoul. It's the central business district and the most important one. The entire Gangnam area is running Samsung SDS's video analytics-based surveillance. We're also protecting the borderline between North Korea and South Korea. So the perimeter security on North and South is run by us. We've done quite a lot of stuff in Moscow City, and now we're finding our feet in India. We're finding our feet with the right business houses. We're getting a lot of sponsorship and a lot of interest here in the country, and we want to take this opportunity today. Please visit us on our booth. We'll try to showcase you some of the use cases that we have and how community at large can be benefited from the solution. Retail side, we're doing a lot of video-based intelligence. So things like detecting hot and cold zones. What I mean by that is heat mapping, where people tend to spend more time. The dwell times are higher, so you know which aisles are getting more attention and which ones are really not doing that great, so you need to think about innovative marketing campaigns there. We do a lot of stuff around people counting, simple stuff. You're trying to calculate footfalls for certain stores. That can be done. We do age and gender analysis. So I just want to share one particular pilot we did in Brazil for a large shopping mall there. So there's a big panel on which advertisement runs. We put our video analytics on top of that. So there's a camera on top of the panel. And if you come and stand in front of the panel, it will detect your near about age. It will detect your gender. And based on that, contextual marketing feed would be shown on the screen. So pertinent ads to your choice. So if I'm a 40-year-old male and I stand in front of the LCD, it will at least not show me Victoria's Secret. And on the transportation side, again, we're trying to build a concept from city surveillance to transport, making transport more safer for people. Manufacturing, again, large manufacturing units. There are few that we have worked with here in India with to build, to reduce the pilferage in terms of theft, and also to bring about pertinent use cases relevant to manufacturing as such as far as surveillance is concerned. Of course, we carry a lot of experience doing this, especially in the manufacturing side for Samsung Electronics worldwide. So their manufacturing facilities are running our solution as well. I will not bore you with this. We know camera to sensor and ACS. I mean, we all talk about Internet of Things these days and Internet of Everything. At Samsung, we call it things. So as far as things are concerned, we're trying to bundle ourselves. Let it be sensors, access control systems. Solos guys, showed one of the implementations that they've done. A step forward, sorry guys, but a step forward we've already taken, and face recognition with ACS, how it works in real time, already live in India at Samsung Electronics office in Gurgaon. We're also trying to bundle it with sensors. A lot of you had conversations with us yesterday about imagining the next surveillance and what next in surveillance rather. And sensors are becoming pretty much they're omnipresent now. Heat sensors, fire alarms, so on and so forth. How can analytics bundle itself with sensors to bring about savings? We listened to the gentleman from EMC today talk about the storage part, terabytes of storage required. How about if we have sensors and integration with analytics? Something goes wrong, then only you start recording. You'll save a lot of storage, in case you're only storing pertinent video clips and not storing everything else. Of course, industries, should permit that. Having said that, if you talk about IoT itself, the platforms that are coming, we've seen gentlemen from Aries will be here today, Jasper, so on and so forth. I mean, the platforms themselves are becoming the backbone for smart city projects in India, which are pretty much there for as an opportunity for all of us to grab. If we do not have a long-term vision of integrating with how a city will function, how surveillance will fit into the big picture, I think we're going to miss the bus. And for doing that, we have to preempt our thought process in thinking what will happen 2 years down the lane when the implementations are live and we need to integrate, for example, the surveillance with the transport system with the riverbed monitoring solutions, so on and so forth, how the big picture will look complete. And that's one endeavor that we are engaging ourselves in and we are heavily investing in. Hopefully next time around when we have this conference again, we'll be able to show you the real integration between the IoT platforms, sensors, and our solution. I talked about machine learning, talked about analytics as such. The whole engine actually runs on Hadoop. I heard that somebody was talking about Hadoop today earlier in the day. So our solution, if I were to describe to you in a very 30,000 feet level description, it works on Hadoop, it works on NoSQL, and it works on Storm. Storm as a technology was released by Twitter. So Twitter uses Storm framework for real-time processing of data. So you get your tweets in time. Similarly, we are using, for our complex event processing, we are using Storm as a framework. And our benchmarks, the way we work, the delays that we see from feed to analysis are close to around 0.9 of a millisecond. So it's pretty real time. Now, I'm going to talk briefly, just a minute each, all of us are hungry, on the basic functions that we have. Please do visit us there, we'll be able to show you live some of these things. One is face recognition, the blacklisting, and the whitelisting function. Then, what you can use it for. You can use it for access control, you can use it for, blacklisting people, detecting people who can potential threats to your premises. Control of unauthorized vehicles using LPR, object recognition, pretty pertinent to the Indian context. Somebody leaves a bag somewhere, can be a potential bomb threat. Recognizing objects from as small as a mobile phone to as large as trucks can be used in multiple use cases again. I'm just going to skip. I'm going to show you this when you visit us there. And of course, this is the one that I was talking about, the complex event processing bit. How do we combine events together and create new ones? It's a very simple GUI-based approach that we have taken. We know that the learning curve on some of these solutions can be really high for the people who are administrating these solutions, especially in the control units. You don't expect them to be engineers, run-of-the-mill people. So what we've done is that we devised a GUI on which you can drag and drop certain events, join them using AND or NOR, ZOR kind of gates, and create an output. Excellent monitoring, something I talked about earlier, and of course, how do we track people? So path tracking is also something which is possible using our solution. Complex search, how do you do visual search, visual searching rather than writing SQL codes to search something. Again, the GUI provides you enough tools to search for the pertinent video feeds rather than scanning through thousands and thousands of them. So for example, if you're looking to search for a lady in red, height approximately 5'7", it's not my wish list, I'm just telling you, if you're trying to search for a lady of 5'7", red clothes, and she's walking in a particular direction, imagine it's a mall, and you'll only get the videos pertinent to this search criteria. And it all can be done using simple clicks on a GUI. Business intelligence, and this is the next thing that we worked on, and it's live now. How do we integrate analytics to give intelligence to your business? For example, in retail, if I want to see what is my conversion rate in terms of footfall versus conversion, it can be done using a simple integration between my video analytics solution and my POS. So if a guy walks up in an aisle, he looks at a product, I know he's looking at one particular location, he picks up a product, another event happening. I'm recording all this on my video analytics, by the way. If he buys that, I can do a pretty much conversion calculation. He picked up the product, he didn't really buy it at the POS. The POS data will tell me this product was bought at X dot X time. My analytics will tell me that this gentleman picked this thing up and he walked away. So it's a clear-cut conversion for me. Now these kind of reporting can be generated using your traditional ERP and workflows and your POS systems and adding it with the analytics part to come up with use cases which are really not thought about earlier. Dwell time analysis, again, this is something that we did with the London Metro as well, the underground. So if there are a lot of people and they're spending a lot of time on the platforms, you need to be increasing the frequency of the trains. And that's a pilot we did with the London Underground. It's very successful. So dwell time, a simple calculation-based affair can also lead a lot of information. You can marry it in retail, you can marry it in transport, you can do a lot of analysis, you can even tie it down with loitering and come up with use cases around people who are spending too much time outside probably a sensitive facility area. You need to be sending more cops in or more security guards, so on and so forth. Heat mapping, again, generation of data based on where people are spending more time, can be used in a variety of applications, and some of this has been done. We'll be very happy to share the use cases that we have already executed in the rest of the world. Demographic analysis, again, how many people of a particular age group, of a particular gender are spending time where and so on. Now, I'm going a bit further away from the surveillance part here because of and it's done with a purpose. I think we're all getting carried away with what video as a technology can do in surveillance. And we're missing out on opportunities that exist in other environments, in other industry verticals. And it's an opportunity that we as ecosystem partners should be actively looking at and trying to develop. How we can garner more support for video technology as the future of a change. Again, I've just talked about how you can correlate by adding systems, your legacy systems with video analytics. So just is pretty much that analytics as it stands today is pretty much not a myth, it is a reality. We've come from time when we were only seeing it in movies to where we are now, where we can showcase and make a difference in business very, very effectively. So I urge you gentlemen and ladies to think about this technology and to keep it on your agenda. From Samsung SDS side, we'll be more than happy to extend any kind of support we can. Thank you very much.